Hey there, guys. Welcome. You're at the Thrifty Journal shop. My name is Amber. If you are new to my channel, hello. I'm so happy you found me. And for all of you awesome folks that keep coming back, you guys are awesome. I appreciate all of you. All right, so I was tagged by Madeline over at Madeline Diet Designs to participate in the hashtag Give a Scrap. I will leave all the details in the description box. The hashtag is actually put on by Angela over at the Traveling Crafter. I know I participated in it last year also, so it's awesome. Anyone can participate. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. It's just basically using your scraps, your leftovers, your thrifted items, your trash. It's totally up my alley. And if you go to that hashtag, you can see everybody's videos and get all sorts of fun ideas. So I am currently working on a Care Bear collection. I shared these two books or these two journals in my thrift haul I did a few days ago. So I am working on making pockets for these. So I wanted to share those with you, and I'm using my scraps. Real quick before we get into the project here of what we're going to do, I thought I would just show you these journals. So I'm going to have these 5 journals in the next coming weeks. I'm going to have these 2 hard-covered ones. These will have some of the original book pages in there. And then these are just going to have a lot of my normal fun pages, all my thrifted papers, my art papers, painty papers, and all of that. Then I'm going to have these 3, and these 3 are going to be super fun, and they're going to be more like sticker book journals. I've got some really cool stickers to go along with them, but once again, you can use them for whatever you like. So the inspiration behind these was I found these little phonics books for a really good price off of eBay, and then I just cut around the bear, and that's how I got the cover here. And then I'm trying to use all of the cover, the back too. So I've got some ideas to make some tags out of some of the Care Bears on the back also. So I'm going to have 3 of them, and the covers are going to be the paper sack. So I cut down the paper sack, and we're going to actually use the bottom of the paper bag today to make the pockets. So this is going to be one of them. And this is just wallpaper, and I added some of my painty paper, little fabric hearts. And then I'm not quite sure, and then this is going to be the back. Now, I'm not quite sure what the spine's going to be, if I'm going to do a fabric spine or a painty paper spine. I'm not quite sure yet. So these are going to be fun sizes. And then I'm going to have the Good Luck Bear. So I added a bunch of fun lace, some cluster. Here's some music paper. This is awesome wallpaper. I love using wallpaper as a base for journals. And then I'm going to have this one. So cute. Okay, so I'm going to have these 5 in the next coming weeks. Okay, and then I'm going to have 3 more, and they're going to be a little larger, and they're going to be hand painted. And I'm going to have some sort of Care Bear like this. So it's going to be this size, and I'll probably also put that on wallpaper. So this is just like sort of like a prototype. And then here was another one I did, the Good Luck Bear. So just another prototype. This is one of my art journals, and I really just like taking some of my ideas for future journals or just playing around with different things that are in my head and putting them down in here. So that is just another style. So the 3 that I'm going to have is I just sketched them out. I'm going to have Friendship Bear. I'm trying to do all the Care Bears. I had 3 before that I sold. And yeah, so I'm trying to get through all of them. I'm going to have Friendship Bear. I'm going to have Wish Bear. And I'm going to have Birthday Bear. Now there is a little yellow here, but I can go over that. And I sort of add my own spin on them. They might not be exactly the same colors. I might add a little bit more extra just so I have my own, I guess, spin or my own artistic endeavor on them. I can't speak to it, guys, but you know what I mean. Okay, and then I will be having some strawberry shortcake journals. So how cute are these going to be? I just have been sketching and playing around with them. So I've got 2, and these are going to be larger style journals also. I've gotten a kit from Madeline, and then she sent me some really cool stuff for the strawberry shortcake journals. And then I am looking right now to find some strawberry shortcake books. So I'm kind of keeping my eye out on eBay. I haven't found any strawberry shortcake stuff in the wild. It's always fun to kind of find that stuff when you're thrifting. I'm not sure when I'll have these, but this is just something up and coming also. All right, let's get into the hashtag Give Scrap. I love making just fun, funky pockets for my journals. And these are using the bottom of the paper sack. So just cutting down the paper sack. Actually, this was the bottom of the paper bag and I just cut it in half. So what I did, and we're going to do one of these on camera, and then I've got some other pockets. I'm just going to show you what I did with those. We're not going to do one on camera, but they're pretty cool too. I just took some of my acrylic paints and just dabbed it down here. And then this is my bear stamps that I made from, once again, using scraps. This is some scraps of cardboard. This is some scraps of foam. If you haven't seen this video, I will link it down below. I am obsessed with these stamps. I've been making some and creating fodder. Also, side note, I will have fodder packets in May for sure, okay? And so I just made these really fun bear heads and I am absolutely in love with them. They're so much fun. And then I just, do my own doodling on there. So I just added some fun lace. Here's some rickrack I got the other day thrifting. I did some hand sewing around here with these hearts, and then I sewed some buttons on. And so these will go in the journals, and I'll probably either sew around the paper or I might glue them because some of these I got a little close there. I probably could sew next to that. I'm not sure. So here's one. And then here's another one. Wallpaper on here, just some lace, all of my scraps, guys, painty papers. This is a heart that I made just out of some fabric scraps, and then I just hand stitched around it. And then I added these really cool, fun buttons. Then I love this one. So I actually went to Joann's probably a month ago. I was in Grand Rapids and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go into Joann's. I think I've been into Joann's maybe 3 times in my life. I just have never really been a Joann's person. I've never really had one by me. But I did find this beautiful trim, and I bought some watercolor paints I'm going to start playing around with. So this trim was like 40% off. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. And I got this pink one. Oh, so cute. And I got some gigantic rickrack and a few fat quarters of fabric. I didn't get a whole lot of stuff. I just wanted to see what they had. So I added another little fabric heart, these really cool buttons, the little bear, the fabric, and just some rickrack. So how fun are those? Totally my style of pocket, painty paper, artsy fartsy kind of thing. All right, so we're gonna make one of these. This is from yesterday, so I have one all painted up. So I thought I would show you real quick how I just did these with the paint, and then I'll let these dry and then we'll make one together. And then I will show you, I have some fabric scrap pockets also, and I'm just gonna show those to you. All right, so like I said, this is just the bottom of the paper sack and I just cut it in half. It doesn't have to be even or anything like this. I know Carla, real quick, I know Carla Frizzell participated also in this hashtag, and I think she did some of her paper bag pockets. These were inspired by her. I think the last time I participated in this hashtag, I shared these, and these are just using scraps of like lunch paper bags, and I did some hand stitching. Love these. These turned out so cute. I kept this one. So you have a pocket here and a pocket here. So you could dress these up, dress these down, use scraps. I mean, it's really endless with what you can do with these paper sacks. And then it's just, oh, isn't that one cute? A little elephant with the fabric and the buttons. And then what's nice about these too is it's just, I love the rustic look of the paper sack. So yeah, if you haven't seen, go check out the hashtag. You can see Carla's video. And then I know she has a video on her, it's an older video, but with her doing her pockets, and her style, her stuff is just gorgeous. I love Carla. I've gotten so much inspiration from her. She's fun. Okay. So I am just gonna because I'm going to have 8 of these and I think I've got 3. I'm going to just do 4 here today. Just going to kind of show you what I did with these. Really super simple. I've just got some of this tempera paint, and then I've got some just acrylic paints, either from Hobby Lobby or the Dollar General. Nothing fancy. And I am just going to blot some of this down. So these are, I'm not really thinking color theme because these all have sort of pink and purple and yellow and blue and green. So this, and some of these paints are getting to the end here. Yeah, some of these are on their way out. All right, I'm not going to do all the same colors here. We'll add some different colors. Whoops. All right, got my, okay, clean my hand up a bit here. And I'm just taking these little blotters. And I am just blotting. Fun and colorful. And this is a good way you could just lay them all out and have at it. You know, and it's okay if you can see some of the paper bag through it also. Okay. Like some of these, I can see the writing from the paper bag, and I'm completely fine with that. I can always cover it up with like collage scraps or just leave it. All right, I'm going to set these aside and let these dry, and then I will get the one that I did yesterday, and we will jazz it up with the bear and some fabric and buttons and stuff. Okay, I put some white paper down so you can see what I'm working on a little bit. It's not blending into my painty paper background. All right, so I've got a collection of scraps here. Once again, using the scraps that I thought I would just maybe add to this or add to the other ones. I'm just going to add some texture with it, do a little bit of collage. So I've just got some scraps of wallpaper. This is some of the painty paper from yesterday when I made the pockets, and I just was using extra paint and just having fun with those. And then I've got my bears over here. All right, so this is the one I did yesterday. And now, guys, for these, I did sew around here. If you don't have a sewing machine, you could glue all of these on. And then I just hand stitched. You could totally hand stitch around like with the other ones I showed you, like the ones Carla did. Yeah, so you could do this without a sewing machine. I just love using my sewing machine, and I like the look of the stitches and all of that. I've got this fun wallpaper, and I like tearing it, like the teared look. Let's see. I haven't done one with the little bear head. Could almost do 2 on there. Maybe well, let's see. Play around here. All right. I like this with the black sort of polka dots. That's kind of fun. All right, and I am just going to use my glue stick for this. I need another glue stick. And I think I'm going to add this bear here. And then I've got some little fabric hearts. Sort of want those to stand out and not blend in. And then I've got my buttons that I got thrifting. Oh, and we've got some trim too. Let's see. Oh, let's put some pink up there. This, I just love this. This is so pretty. I am going to sew this down. So I am going to glue the bear down, and then I did go around the bear with my sewing machine. Oh my goodness, I'm just running out of glue today. That's okay. We don't need a lot because I'm going to sew around it. Same with the hearts. I am going to glue them down, but then I'm going to hand stitch, and I'll do that on camera. I might just speed it up. So let's see. Let me just lay this out. All right. Got purple. I like that one. Oh, that's cute. All right. Oh, and there's this pink one too. That's fun. I get to making a mess, guys. Okay. So I am going to go sew this on, sew the bear on, and then sew around it. And then I'll be back and then we will sew the buttons and this little heart on. But I am going to use this heart. So I'm going to just add a little glue here. And I'll clean up my buttons. I'll be right back. Okay, so cute, guys. All right, so what I did is I just sewed the trim on here, sewed around the little bear, and then I did add some of this, I guess, tulle, this red tulle. It was in my scrap bin, so I just added that for some extra texture. Now I'm going to just hand stitch around this heart, and then we'll sew the buttons on. So for this, I just used some of this like craft thread embroidery floss. These are the colors that I have out here. So I think I'm just going to use some purple for the heart. And I am just using one of my, this is like my favorite needle. It's got a pretty big eye here. Now, I saw Carla. I keep mentioning Miss Carla. She had, for her stitching, she went ahead and poked holes in before she did the needle. That is a smart idea, so you don't poke your fingers. I am just going to eyeball it here. I am not worried about these stitches being even or anything like that. So what's fun about hand stitching is that it can be wonky. Oops. But because I used my glue stick, see this is kind of popping up. I'll go back through and add some tacky glue to that just to make sure that it sticks down and stays in, and stays in place. It does help too if you pre-punch the holes. That way you're not punching out of what you're working on. And then I'm just going to tie this off. And I'll use this extra thread here for my buttons. Sometimes I will take a piece of Scotch tape and place it over here just so it stays, or you can add a dollop of glue. All right, well, that adds that. I'm gonna try to start this. I've got food coloring under my nails, so if you're looking, I do wash my hands. But look, my hands look pretty atrocious. I was dyeing papers yesterday with food coloring, and yeah, I don't like to wear gloves. So here we are with a mess. All right. All right. And you can wear a thimble to do this. I am trying to eyeball it without poking anything out. All right. And then I am just going to tie this button off here. There's one. I might add one right there on that. That way they'll kind of secure that. It's a pretty button. My needle back so I don't lose that. That's like my favorite needle. All right, let's see what we have. So how fun and cute is that? And that is going to go on a journal page, and it will be a pocket. And then I'll have something fun tucked in there using the bottom of a paper sack. Ideas are endless here, guys. So fun with the bears for the Care Bear journals. I just love them all. They just all have just the cutest little personalities. Okay, and so before I go, I just wanted to show you another idea of how you can use your scraps. These are just some cutoffs of some file folders. I was making some spines for some journals, and so this is just the offcuts. And I'll probably use some of these to make some journaling cards also. But these are just fabric, I call them fabric scrap pockets. Now, if you saw my last collection of journals that I did with fabric scrap covers, these are similar to those. And inside those journals, I had fabric scrap pockets. So I'm just going to tell you what I did. Basically, I just took scraps of fabric and just pieced them on here. Now, I use a sewing machine. I think the sewing machine gives it a nice look. You can sew around all the little squares individually. I like the look of the stitch. But if you didn't have a sewing machine, you could always hand stitch around there. One of these days, I might do that. It will be more time consuming, but this is something that you could do in front of the TV. You could take your glue stick and like place everything down. And then at night or during the day or whenever, you could just sit down and stitch. I love doing it. It's very relaxing. So here's some of them. Put that pretty trim. Here's some fabrics from Maddie. Then this one I added a heart, and I'll probably go around and hand stitch this heart so it kind of pops up a little bit, more of that trim. And so here's like the file folder kind of tab. I just thought that was kind of cool, so I left it. All wonky, all different sizes. I didn't really measure. Here's some really pretty rainbow lace. I got this thrifting. I love it. More of that trim. So fun. Vintage sheets from Maddie. Just fun. I added a lot of this trim. I'm just in love with this trim. And then here's some lace that I got thrifting. Love that. And then there's another one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to have 8 journals. So I'll probably make 2 more. These were super fun to make. I mean, you don't have to use file folders. You could also use paper sacks for these. I've done them on paper bags also, or any kind of, cardboard or card stock. A lot of times if you save the packaging from like stickers or anything like that, notebooks even, you can reuse it, and just another way to use your scraps. All right, guys, please go check out the hashtag Give a Scrap. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you some inspiration and some ideas just to play around and have fun and use what you got. All right, I hope you find some sunshine today. It is shining here, and I hope you find some creative time for yourself. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you real soon.